Today I'm going to take on the topic spoilage and its type in the subject Pharmaceutical Microbiology Advanced. And I would like to introduce Dr. N.G.P from Department of Microbiology, and I'm going to take the topic from Unit 2, Spoilage and its types. In this video, we'll see what is meant by spoilage, what are the characteristics of spoilage, types of spoilage, what are the chemical changes caused by the microbes in the food, and what are the common causes of food spoilage. We'll see in detail each and every characteristic features of microbial spoilage and its types. Before going into the exact spoilage, microbial spoilage, we'll see what is the basic definition for food spoilage. Food spoilage results when microbiological, chemical, or physical changes occur, rendering the food product unacceptable to the consumer, which means the food product is unacceptable, it causes food poisoning. And microbiological food spoilage is caused by the growth of the organisms which produce enzymes that lead to objectionable byproducts in food. And due to the byproducts that has been released in the food, it makes the person unacceptable or unobjectionable to the customer or the consumer. And in short, what is the definition as any changes in the visual, smell and texture of food that makes it unacceptable for consumption. So the same definition, it is in a simplified form, just what we have seen already. Next, going to the microbial food spoilage, what are the characteristics of the microbial food spoilage? So the microbial food spoilage has certain characteristics. It includes 5 different characteristics. And what are these characteristics indicate and why it is made inedible or unacceptable to the consumer? The very first thing is, the first characteristic is unpleasant smell. So you will get a very bad smell when the food is spoiled, and that we see it day to day, we experience in day to day life. And the second characteristic is unpleasant taste. So the taste is the next characteristics which comes after unpleasant smell. The very first one is unpleasant smell, followed by the unpleasant taste. And the next one is color changes. Color changes takes place. There will be certain color changes from the normal or from the natural food color. And the fourth one is texture changes. So the texture changes, it becomes a very abnormal texture than the usual one, which is the food prepared normally. And the last one is the moldy growth. The growth of this actually due to these 4 characteristics: unpleasant smell, unpleasant taste, color changes, and texture changes leads to the mold growth. So all these takes place as a result of the food spoilage, and these are the 5 characteristics of the food spoilage. And why the spoilage occurs? What are the main reasons for the food spoilage to take place? And there are 4 important reasons for the food spoilage to take place. So the 4 important food spoilage is insect damage. So infestation of the insects in the food. This is the first one. And you can see very well in this slide the insect damage. And next one is physical injury. Physical injury. That is here in the example, apple, physical injury. When it falls down or when it is hit onto a hard surface, physical injury takes place, and as a result, the food spoilage takes place. Then enzymatic degradation. As a result, enzymatic degradation takes place, and microbial activity takes place as a result of this enzymatic degradation. So these are the 4 causes of food spoilage and what are the types of food spoilage. That is very, very important. The types of food spoilage. The very first thing is physical spoilage. As such, when we see a food by physically seeing, it is due to the moisture loss or moisture gain. That is referred as physical spoilage. And next one is chemical spoilage. When this chemical spoilage will take place? Chemical spoilage will take place due to the oxidation of fat, browning of fruits and vegetables, and the third one is microbial spoilage. Microbial spoilage takes place as a result of the growth of the microbes. And next one is enzyme production of these microbes. So this one we call as microbial spoilage. And microbial spoilage, what are the different types of microbes that causes spoilage of food? It is by bacteria, it is by molds, it is by the yeast. So all these different types of microbes, they play a major important role in causing the spoilage of food. And when these microbes, when they harbor the food, they give you the four characteristics, that is the unpleasant smell, unpleasant taste, unpleasant odor, unpleasant texture. All these takes place, and as a result, the food is unacceptable for us to take. So these are the major groups of the organisms that takes place as a result of the microbial spoilage. And next one is what are the various bacteria that can be responsible for the spoilage of the food. What does this bacteria, when it grows in food, so the bacteria, what it does in the food when the food is being spoiled, the bacteria break down the food, acids and other waste products that are created in the process. Very first thing. The second thing is that the bacteria itself may not be harmful, and the waste products may be unpleasant to taste or may even be harmful to one's health. And next comes the yeast. I told you the yeast can be responsible for the decomposition of food with the high sugar content. And the same effect is useful in the production of various types of food and beverages, such as bread, yogurt, and alcoholic beverages. And some of the spoiled foods are harmless to eat and may simply be diminished in quantity. But the foods exhibiting certain types of spoilage may be harmful to consume. And uncooked or undercooked animal flesh that spoils is typically quite toxic, and consumption will result in serious health hazards, or sometimes it leads to death. And the toxic effects from consuming such spoiling the food is known as food poisoning, and more properly it is called as foodborne illness. And this microbial spoilage, how does it manifest itself? How does a food is being microbially infected? How does it contaminate the food? That is, what are the four things that causes food spoilage? One is by visibly seeing visible growth of the microbes in the food. Then next one is your gas production. Third one is your slime, formation of slime. And fourth one is off flavors. So these are the four major characteristics that a microbial spoilage does to the food. And what are the sequence of events in food spoilage? The microbes have to get into the food from a source, from any source it may be. So for the food spoilage to take place, the microbes have to get into the food. Then the food environment should favor the growth of the microbes. Vice versa, and the food need to be stored in the good condition for sufficient length of time. Will allow sufficient number necessary to cause spoilage or changes in the food. Then to allow the produced enzyme to spoil the food. This is the sequence of events that takes place in food spoilage. What are the chemical changes caused by the microbes? The chemical changes caused by microbes are degradation of carbohydrates, degradation of N compounds, degradation of lipids, pectin hydrolysis. So these are the chemical changes that take place during food spoilage. And what are the common causes of food spoilage? The excessive delays between receiving and storing, inadequate storage temperatures, prolonged storage times, improper ventilation, cross-contamination. So these are the five main causes of food spoilage that we have to have in mind. And in a nutshell, we have learned what is meant by spoilage, what is the actual definition for spoilage, what are the characteristics of spoilage, and what are the different types of food spoilage that takes place, and what are the chemical changes caused by the microbes, and what are the five common causes of food spoilage. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for patient listening.